so what you just heard was a snippet of this pretty insane primordial sound healing session that Sam and I just finished doing with Mecca Elliot, who's an amazing meditation therapist here in LA. What were your thoughts on this, Sam?
Oh my gosh, the whole thing felt so good. It was like my body immediately lit up as soon as she started playing the ohms and the primordial sounds. I mean, even Mecca was so shocked. She was like, there's so much energy in this room. The speakers were cracking. Like, we were doing some serious clearing. It just felt incredible.
Yeah, I felt so too. And it seemed like I honestly went into it feeling like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to sink into this, like, theta brainwave state or anything. Like, I just wasn't in the space coming to that session. But by the time we actually set up, I mean, I definitely was in a different space. Like, I definitely went somewhere. And I did not expect it at all.
The other part that I thought was so crazy was when she did we did like an 8 or 9 minute primordial ancestral healing. And as soon as she changed the music to that, it was like the room was filled with people, and I could just, like, the fact that I was laying on my back and I could feel like the energy going up and down my legs with this like weird push pull, just like it was being just cleared out all through my meridian lines. It was, and I thought Mecca was standing at my feet doing that when it was happening, but she wasn't.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was like a lot of, even towards the end there, a lot of like vibration in my body. And it was still vibrating, even just like faintly vibrating, even towards the very, very end when we were coming out of it. And I also felt that weird sort of like energy through the soles of my feet coming up my legs right when the ancestral piece started. And yeah, this probably sounds insane right now because we haven't actually played the interview yet, but I'm so excited for you guys to hear our chat with Mecca because it was truly unlike anything we've both experienced before.
Oh my gosh, you're going to love it.
Hey y'all, I'm Ellen. We've been super inspired by our journeys of self-healing and discovery.
And I'm Sam, and we want to share our experiences with you to help you get curious about yourself, reconnect, and get intentional about your life so you know what makes you happy.
Welcome to Woo New, the podcast.
Welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. And we just had the most incredible sound healing experience with Mecca. And she has been really incredible. She shared her space, the Lighthouse, in the valley with us to do some breath work and healing sessions with other women in a group called Her. So we're very excited to be here and to talk to you.
Yay!
And to hear about your story, because we have so many questions now. It was such an incredible experience.
Yes, and you own Namaste Nails.
I do. I own Namaste Nail Sanctuary. Let's see, opened that up about 1.5 years ago because my story, we can kind of jump into that because that's how I got to Namaste Nail Sanctuary, which is how I got to this. But I, like many people who jump into this practice, it happened through a health crisis. A lot of people get introduced to meditation or consciousness or all sorts of healing modalities through life crisis or health crisis, right? So for me, I was diagnosed with a life-threatening autoimmune disease 5 years ago, and my body just started attacking itself. I had significant bone loss throughout my entire body, and I was in extreme pain. So from the time I got diagnosed, about 2 months in, I was on 11 different medications, seeing 6 different doctors. And I was just, I didn't know, I'm young, I'm seeing a rheumatologist, a nephrologist, a GI doctor, a cardiologist. It just kept going on and on. And I felt like the medicine, nothing against Western medicine, but I felt like it was keeping me sick. Mm-hmm. So one of my clients at the time, I owned a hair salon in Texas for about 15 years. And one of my clients was doing the Deepak 21-day meditation journey and asked me if I wanted to do it. And I was like, no. Like, I legit have ADHD. I can't sit still and I have thoughts. No. And who is Deepak? Like, who's that? I know Oprah, but like, who's Deepak?
What was your spirituality, like, I don't know, like, sense or level at that point?
Good question. I think I was, a little conscious, but I was tapping into religion more. Mm-hmm. So I was going to church and listening to gospel, whatever would just make me feel good. So, but like spiritual, I knew there was something missing, and I knew there was this high existence and power, but I didn't know how to tap into that. Mm. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't raised like that. I was raised, half my family's Muslim, half my family's Christian. So I was raised kind of confused, going back and forth from religion to religion, practices, worship this, worship that. And so yeah, I didn't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I tapped in. I decided that I was going to try meditation. And I couldn't do it. Like, I just could not tap into, but I said, you know what, let me just try when I'm about to go to sleep because I'm rested. And so my brain kind of is slowing down. It's not monkey brain. And so I did that, and I started to, about a week into, I started realizing that I was waking up feeling rested. And you don't know that you're not getting proper rest until you get proper rest. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, like I'm feeling good I'm feeling refreshed when I wake up. Still in excruciating pain. Still have to take medication, but if it's helping me sleep, I'll take it. So I kept doing it for sleep purposes. And fast forward 4 months in, I was removing myself from the medication, which you're not supposed to do without doctor's supervision, because I was on high dosage prescription pain medication as well as high dosage steroids. So when I was removing it, I was going through severe withdrawals, like should have been in rehab withdrawals. But I stayed in it. I just meditate. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I would take hot baths, cold baths, whatever Google said do. I was just like, Google, I'm doing, this is what's happening. Cold sweat, night sweats, what do I do? Take a warm bath, take a cold bath, and just be at peace, like kind of find your center or whatever. So that's what I did. And I removed myself from every medication.
So you really felt like the medication was keeping you sick. So you were like, your goal through meditation was just to get yourself off all the meds.
The goal first was to sleep, and then it was, I'm going to heal. And I didn't really know what I was really doing. I was just doing, if that makes sense. I feel like I was being led by something greater and bigger and powerful than me. Went to the doctor, told them, they were like, okay, let's do your checks. What medicine are you taking? I said nothing. He looked at me like I was insane. And was like, what do you mean you're not taking anything? Like, you can't get off this medication. Anything could happen to you. Like, you can have a seizure, because this is like potent stuff. And I said, well, I feel fine. So they were like, we need to check your blood and see what's going on. So they checked my blood and could not find the disease in my body. Rechecked it, could not find the disease in my body. And this is an illness that you can't get rid of.
How long were you doing this?
Yeah, I was
4 months.
Whoa. 4 months. Holy shit.
4 months. He asked, what have I been doing? I said meditating, and I feel good. Pain had subsided, body's energized. He said, did you change your diet? No. Are you doing any herb? No. No herbs, no changing of diet. I'm just meditating. Wow. And he looked like that and said, well, this must be a miracle. And I said, the miracle.
Jaws on the floor. Right?
like, yeah, the miracle of meditation. They dismissed it. They'll never put it in the medical books. That's okay.
Of course not. Yeah.
So after that 4-month period, did you feel like you were a better meditator, or were you still just meditating at night?
No, I was obsessed. I'm glad you asked that, because I became obsessed with the meditation. I was no longer just doing it at night. It was making me feel so good. I had to have it morning, in the middle of my day. I would come home. My salon was close to my house. I would come home between clients, go back to work, and then at night. And I would sleep. I turned one of my closets into my meditation room. I would sleep in there. Like, it was an obsession.
Wow.
But I was fighting for my life too. So if this was healing me, I'm gonna fight. So after that, I was like, first of all, I need to meet Deepak. That's one. I need to meet him. So I met him in Austin, Texas. I remember going to a book signing. I met him, and he was like my savior. I felt like I was like, it's you. Like, I've listened to your voice every single day. Like, this is what helped me heal.
Was that the meditations you were doing? It was the Deepak?
Oh yeah, all Deepak.
Oh, wow.
All Deepak. Like, every affirmation CD he has, every soul of healing, soul of the center of love, like every chakra balancing, everything was Deepak Chopra.
So you were doing this at home.
Yes.
You weren't necessarily going out to group meditation.
No.
This was all on your own.
Listen, I was in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. Meditation group? Where?
I get it.
Like, no.
And probably like a decade ago or something.
It was 5 years ago, so it's like, but now they're popping up everywhere, right? But 5 years ago, no.
Yeah.
Like, So, so then I decided I was going to take a leap of faith, and I was going to move to LA and go study with Deepak Chopra. So
that's what prompted your move.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I was in a relationship too, and we were going back and forth from LA to Texas. So, but we were settled in Texas, but I was like, nope, let's go. And I knew Deepak was here and business is here, so let's do it. And I let that go, and that was big. So it's like 15 years of my life. So I let the salon go and decided I was going to just study meditation. So I went to the Chopra Center and had the opportunity of meeting Deepak, and that's where I learned the Primordial Sound Meditation technique. And got certified with him, and gained a connection. And then I was like, okay, what's next? And I wanted to now understand, how did I heal my body? Like, I understood some with getting certified as a meditation instructor, but I wanted to understand like the subconscious mind and what's happening, the mind, body, spirit. Like, how was I able to do this? And so I went and got certified as an NLP practitioner to understand the subconscious mind, understand hypnotic language, because I was using all these affirmations and healing tech, and that was helping me heal. It was like basically reconditioning, I feel like, my cells, my tissues, my everything. And so I wanted to see, how does that work? And then continue to get all these other certifications, life coach, helping couples heal, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I got all this education. What you gonna do now with all this knowledge? And that's where Namaste Nail Sanctuary was born. I merged my beauty background with meditation. So I created a nail salon where you go get your nails done while you're meditating with the Deepak Chopra device.
Amazing.
So we partnered with Deepak and did that whole thing, and we turned it into a franchise. We've sold over 47 locations nationwide and counting. And then I decided to teach full time. So it's kind of how I got into all of that. That's how I got here. That's how I got into this practice, because it wasn't my background in no sense at all. Like, it just was not. When I heard meditation, I was just like, no. I always visualized like the Buddha on the mountain, and I was like, that ain't even me. Like, But it, I was open, which is the first start, and I was desperate, and it led me here to my real, true purpose and passion. So what I do now and what we've just experienced is literally what I wake up to do every morning, and I absolutely love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're teaching meditation, or are you teaching people to lead meditation, or are you teaching people just how to meditate?
Both.
Oh, wow.
Both. So I do have some clients turned students who now have been introduced to meditation, and they're just like me. They're eager, they're seeking, right? And so they're eager to learn. And so they've gotten certifications, and now they're wanting to, or they're interning with me and under me. They'll be in session while I'm teaching and learning. So I'm working on a certification program now that I'm going to offer people. But yeah, so I teach every day, and I also help people learn the practice and how I teach. Because what we experience is not what I was taught completely. I was taught more of the primordial sound in the sense of the sound that the moon was vibrating when you were born. And so you get your primordial sound, your mantra, right? Kind of similar to TM. But he also went into the sounds of the earth and the primordial sounds of nature, of the heartbeat, of a baby laughing, of the ocean. And so I attached to that part, right? And when I would listen to those sounds, that resonated with me. And so I kind of, just like I've done with every certification, I've curated it to fit what works for me, and that's what I teach. So like what we experienced, all of the sounds was like my little coming from him, but then I just transformed it into this practice, you know, and it's pretty powerful. But it's not me, I'm led by spirit. So spirit guided me, and here we go.
So maybe we can spend some time almost just breaking down what primordial sound healing actually is.
Yeah.
Because I know this is definitely my first experience with it, and like I know nothing about this. And just even you saying that the sound of the moon at the point at which you were born, forming the mantra, that I was like, oh, I didn't even connect that two together. But yeah, that's really fascinating.
Yeah, so primordial sounds are natural sounds of nature, you know, natural sounds for us. Like I said, the baby's laughter, that's a natural sound. The baby wasn't conditioned to laugh like that. We, as adults, we kind of have a laugh, not to say that we condition, but babies are just pure. So they have that, we can hear it now, can't you? Like you can hear the baby's laughter. The heartbeat, which is the sound that one of the first sounds we hear as we're being cultivated in the womb, the sound of the womb. The ocean, the rain, the thunderstorms. And then there's the sound of Om, which is the divine sound, the universal sound that carries the divine energy. Okay, so that's the energy of earth, moon, sun, frequency, and just all of that combined in the sound of Om. So for me, it was important to merge the two, right? The divine sound of Om, which has been around since God knows when, thousands of years ago, comes from the Vedic Indian tradition. And then, and how they came up with that sound was the rishis, which means the seer. They were in deep meditation and they could hear Om. And so that's where that came from, right? So it's a powerful sound. And then the sounds of nature, the ocean, the rain, the thunderstorm, the wind, the birds. And so merging the two of them, it puts you into, I don't know, how do you explain it? It's like a trance, you know?
Yeah.
And then I make sure the Om that we're listening to is at a certain hertz for healing, or it could be for releasing emotional trauma. It could be for energizing. But the one that we did was for healing. It was the theta state hertz.
So different level, or the different hertz frequencies do different things.
Absolutely. Okay. Mm-hmm. They do. They tap into our meridian points, our energetic body, and they start the activation of whatever that is, you know, depending on that certain hertz.
So how did you end up deciding that you wanted to focus on primordial sound meditations and sound healing?
The thing is, I didn't really have a choice, because with the Chopra Center, they only teach primordial sound meditation, and then they teach perfect health. They teach like other holistic practices, but for meditation, it's only primordial sound.
Really?
Yes.
That is Deepak's.
That's his thing, because he comes from TM, right? So that's his background.
Okay.
Okay.
Now it's all connecting.
Yeah. You get it? Yeah. And
Yeah.
so he went over to India during his research, and he sat with the rishis and the seers, right? And he was doing the practice of Om and connecting to the primordial sounds. And as he was in this deep practice, he started basically receiving those sounds along with, you know, those that he was learning with the teachers, the masters. And so creating these different bijas, as they're called, which are mantras. And he does it a certain way. He goes Om, and then your mantra, and then Namaha at the end. And that's how he does his primordial sounds. But that was his creation, and it was rooted in, well, I won't say it was rooted in, but his background was TM, you know, but it is rooted in the Vedic tradition, right? So that's his thing, primordial sound meditation. If you want to be a certified meditation instructor, it is primordial sound. I didn't know what primordial sound meditation was. I just knew it said meditation instructor. I'm signing up, and it's Deepak Chopra, okay? So when I got into it, I was like, what is this? The moon vibration frequency when you born. Like, it was so foreign to me. I was like, okay. Like, I used to describe, I say Deepak literally is like my Beyonce, no lie. And I told him that in front of like a whole audience of people. I was like, you are my Beyonce. Like, you don't even understand, okay? You like literally helped save my life. So whatever he was teaching, I was down. Okay, we're doing the frequency of the moon. Sure. But it wasn't like I chose it, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So what we just experienced, I know it's your unique kind of translation, or it's like using all the learnings that you've captured and like kind of putting your own spin on it. But I'm curious what the difference. Did you walk into like a primordial sound healing with Deepak that was similar to what we just experienced?
No. This was downloaded.
Okay.
Straight from the divine. Straight from the divine. No, I didn't. When you are learning the primordial sound that I was formerly taught, it is a quiet meditation. You don't even speak your mantra. It's all silent. We sit for 30 minutes to an hour in silence, and you're chanting to self your mantra, because you're not supposed to say it out loud, just like TM. So that was my experience, which was really good, because learning how to meditate in silence is difficult. It's not easy. It's easy when you have the guided and when you have sound. It's easier. Mm-hmm. But in silence, so I was in it, like formally trained, like sit up. I mean, you can be comfortable, but it's very formal. So, but that, it worked for me. But then there was just, whenever I would do his guided meditations, which is how I got introduced to this, that resonated with me. I can drop into the gap. I can be in that space of nothing and everything. And so that was important for me to incorporate sound, specifically, well, especially because the clients that I get, a lot of them are new. Mm-hmm. Just like, because there's something happening, there's a spiritual shift that's happening right now, universal. So a lot of people are into it, and people who typically wouldn't, like very religious people, even people who are like atheists or agnostic, like they're trying to they're tapping into it. We're waking up as a collective. And so I get a lot of new, first experiences. I can't have them in silent doing like, no. They're gonna be like, see, this is why I don't want to do no meditation, because I can't do any of this. And so it's like I had to figure out how to make it open and how to attract people to it. And I had to think what attracted me. Okay. So, merging the two, I just love the primordial sounds, like the ocean sounds, the sound of the trees, the sound of the wind. Like that just always gets me centered and grounded. And the vibration and frequency of Om, the deep Om, it's just the combination is just, perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. So, what was the question?
I think you answered it. Like, I mean, it's so I don't even have words really to describe what we just experienced because it's so profound and kind of special. And if you want to use like the most basic terms, I guess we sat in a sound bath of sorts,
Yes.
But this was unlike any sound bath I think I've ever been to, and I think a lot of it has to do with just, I mean, every sound bath is intentional, but I think there's something really like powerful about that deep Om sitting in that and literally letting that like wash over you, and you're like, I literally don't have words. Like it just feels like you're. I think we talked a little bit right after the session. I felt like I was in the womb. I felt like I was cradled, and there was this sense of like safety and origin, I guess, and just back to the beginning when there was no wound, there was no anything to like like need to heal. We are all still perfect in all of our woundedness, but like I also feel like it was that's where it brought me back to.
Yeah, that's interesting. It takes you to the place of surrender, like complete. And so everyone's experience is very different, but what you said, I've heard that's common because it does have that sound. And it almost, like I said, you just surrender, you drop down into it. There's something about it. And I don't have the word either. Like, what? How do you really describe that? And I do this all the time. It's an experience. It's almost like, how do you really articulate it? Because it's like a soul spiritual experience, right? And I don't think that we can try as best in our human form to articulate it, but how? Like, how do you describe it?
It's like
healing.
There are so many limitations to language.
Yes.
When it comes to talking about this experience. I mean, what I thought was really cool, personally, especially for me, because as the more I've gotten into meditation and as I learned, I was self-taught as well in a similar way. But it was like, I would listen to guided meditations, and then Ellen actually turned me on to this instructor in the 10% Happier app who they did like a traveling meditation series, and they were, outside camping when he was leading the meditation. So there was like the fire crackling and the birds and sounds.
And crickets.
Yes.
I know exactly which one you're talking about, because I listened to that one over and over and over again.
Yeah, me too. And then as I got to a point where I was like, okay, I don't know how else to explain it other than exactly what you just said. Like, I was being led beyond that. And I was like, this is not, like, I need something different. But it was like I needed the flexibility and the freedom to just, like, sit with whatever is going to happen that day. And it was like every time I sit down and meditate now, I put on ocean waves or nature sounds or sound bowls and primordial sounds, and I'll like play with the different. Now I'm not trained, so I probably should do a lot more reading on like what I'm listening to and what I'm doing to my body when I do that. But I love how you combine the two, because I had never thought about doing that. How do you decide, like, I know how you sort of touched on how you picked the Om, but when you go through and you're deciding what nature sounds to pair with it, and sort of the cadence of when you're going to tune one in versus the other, like how do you go through that? Is it as you're feeling the session, or do you sort of plan it ahead?
I channel ahead, so I would channel the night before, so like I channel the sounds, like what is it, trying to visualize you guys, and what's the need. And as I'm literally creating the playlist, because it's catered towards each. And I do repeat some if I'm doing a series with someone or with a couple. But I literally just channel. And so I'm hearing the Om, and then I'm going through my playlist of primordial sounds that I love. And it literally, I'll just pick, and then I listen to the Om. It's playing the entire time. And then I say, okay, I need some rain here. And I listen to the Om, and I'm like, fire. And it literally is a channel. I am just so, I know that sounds for some people, it's like, what? Channeling what? I'm being led. And so when it all comes together, I'm like, how did I come? Like, I'm surprised. And I'm like, how did I come up with that? And it ended so perfectly. And it's like, it's just a download. That's the only way I can explain it. Yeah, I'm just like super duper spiritual, very, very connected to spirit. And so spirit uses me as a portal all the time, you know, and I'm just the vessel. So that was that. So it's not like, oh, I'm thinking about, oh, and then add this. That's not even how it happens. Yeah. It literally is like listening, kind of in a meditation, but not really. Oh, let me do rain. Okay. Oh, we need a thunderstorm right here. That's how it happens.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get from meditation and training with Deepak to channeling and becoming like as spiritual as you are? I mean, of course, the experience that you went through with your health, I'm sure, was hugely profound in that.
You know, it snuck up on me because to this day, I don't even know the moment it happened. It was more of a gradual thing where I started receiving messages. And I would speak, not even knowing that I'm receiving messages, but I would start just speaking in session, and it would be confirming or resonating with the client, specifically when loved ones come through. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask to communicate with loved ones who've transitioned. Like, no. That's not, like, no. And it just started happening. And the deeper I got into my meditative practice, the more spiritually inclined I became. And then I read a lot, you know, so I trying to read to understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. What is happening with me? Because now I'm like speaking, people are like, how do you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. What do I know? What did I say? And so I start accepting it. I said, okay, Spirit's using you. You need to just accept, you know, being who you are. And I still don't like to call myself a medium or a trance medium. I like to consider it more shamanic. Like, it's very, I would consider myself like a baby shaman, you know, because I've gravitated towards the elements. And like, I'll find myself, it's the craziest thing. Wake up in the morning, go outside my bedroom, plant my feet on the ground. I'm like, I'm earthing. The sun is coming through. And then I find myself picking leaves and little berries and, oh, I got some rosemary over here. And then I find myself in front of my altar creating something, an intention jar, burning candles. Like, it happened like that. And I will talk to my peers about, like, what is happening? Because this is what I'm doing. I'm gravitating toward it. Like, just surrender to it. Surrender to the calling, you know. Basically, the soul knocked on the door and I opened it and was like, okay, the door's open. So the portal's open. So now Spirit's just using me. So now as I've accepted it, it's like lightning speed. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's like I am continuing to evolve into this being that I never, listen, I'm from Buffalo, New York. Okay. I was raised in the hood, then moved to Dallas in another hood, and this would never be my, you know, so people who know me they always said I was different. So I knew I was always different as a child. I was the I don't know if it's the black sheep. I was just different. You know, as a kid, I was a little mute, didn't really talk a lot. And didn't really talk at all, to be honest. Didn't have a lot of friends growing up as a child. And the more I evolved, the more I became just normal. Mm-hmm. But when you ask my friends who knew me as a child, it's just like, you always been weird as hell. Like, just weird. You always just did weird shit. But, like, now, we get it. It all makes sense. And now I'm not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because there was another thing where I was like, I'm weird. Or I'll say it before I say something. I'll be like, I know this sounds weird and a little strange, but something tells me I have to speak. And now it's just like, okay, so do you connect with spirit? Are you okay if I translate? You know, I'll always ask, and they're like, yeah, and there it is.
How did you get to that point of being okay?
It wouldn't leave me alone. Like, it's an everyday, it is an everyday thing. Mm-hmm. To the point where it's like, you either gonna surrender or just keep resisting. And then I read something where it says, when you don't translate whatever you're receiving, now you're holding the energy. So if a message needs to come out and you're not, you know, and you're being used, okay, you tapped into this, so now you're being used, and you don't share that, because that's for that person. That is not for me to hold on to. So you don't share that. Now I'm holding that energy. And I was like, yeah, no, because that's going to lead to illness. That's going to lead me back to where I was 5 years ago. So no, I have to speak.
There's this Lomi masseuse that both of us have been to. Her name's Ellen Komatani, and she was explaining to me, because things will come through her while she's working on somebody. And the first few times it happened, she was super uncomfortable, and she's like, I don't know if I can say this. It sounds super weird, you know, like, and she held it in, and she said it was the most uncomfortable, almost like almost painful, not like little pain, but painful thing to hold on to that. So finally she just had to open her mouth and say, like, this may sound strange, but blah, 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 you know.
That is my exact same experience. Wow. Exact. You will feel it, and I'm like, okay, just speak.
So how do you handle that when it's information that, you know, we've talked to a lot of healers, and there's a lot of, like, lines around sort of the kind of information that people can, you know, that they're ready to hear. And so if you ever get a message where, you know, somebody is clearly not ready to hear it, or it's not something that you feel comfortable sharing, say hypothetically, because it might change their free will and their personal decision making, how do you handle that?
I always speak. So I was taught, I have a spiritual advisor, counselor, to always speak. And so I speak, but here's the thing I always say. What I'm speaking is not definite. Like, this is not forever. It can always shift, okay? One of my biggest, like, don'ts is telling somebody something that may be a little harsh, or it's the truth, you know, but it might shift or create maybe a block in them, or I know their trauma, so this might be a little intense. But I always say, you have the power to shift this. This is just a message for awareness, okay? So how it's going to manifest or how it's going to end is up to you. Shift it, you know? And I know some people who are in this space where they speak, and it's just like, okay, they're reading your cards, and you're saying, well, I think he's my twin flame. I think he's my love. You know, what does the card say? And the card is like, yeah, no, looks like you're just friends, and you're just going to be friends. He's emotionally unavailable, da-da-da-da. And so I'm sorry, you know, I hate delivering messages like that, but looks like that's what it is. That shit is devastating as hell, 1. 2, like, what if I can make some shifts? Like, what if I can do some candle magic? Or can I do something to shift this around? Like, yes, we are so powerful and so magical. So I don't like when people do that with spirituality, because it's an open field and nothing is concrete when dealing with spirit. So I always say, but you can shift it and change it. So what do we want to do? Are we going to receive it? Are you comfortable with this? Or do we want to shift it? Where? You know, and let you decide. And it's like, you know what? I'm comfortable with that. I need to receive that. Great. Or no, he is my love. I want it. Okay, well then let's do some work. You know, let's get some love candles and add a little juju, whatever. Let's do some stuff to call him in. You know, so I believe in that. I'm like, anything's possible. So that's kind of my philosophy. Is like nothing is, whatever I speak is not just like permanent. It's just a helping you become more aware.
Is there something that, like, through all your clients that you've done this kind of session with, are there certain reasons that they come to you, or is there like trends that you're seeing? Is it stress? Is it like also, you know, a body that is just not working well? Like, what are some of the things that you've seen?
You know what? When I first got into this, I was attracting people who were very ill, terminal illness.
Oh, wow.
And I think it was the energy I was pushing out because I was just coming out from my healing. So that's what I was bringing in. Now it's array of things, a lot of couples, because I kind of just uncoupled, so not surprised about that. Not surprised at all. So a lot of that, and then a lot of deep trauma with women, violent violations. I'm seeing that week after week after week after week. And I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if they're now speaking because the energy is time's up, me too, and now we're getting this feminine rise and we're ready to start speaking about our trauma. I think that has something to do with it. I also feel like collectively the feminine energy is rising, and so we're starting to release the traumas in the womb, in the sacral chakra, and so I'm seeing a lot of that and a lot of addictions, private addictions, secret addictions with all kind of stuff, and a lot of everything is rooted in stress though. Like everybody has stress, so a lot of that, and then probably throat chakra. But I really think it's my energy. I think that because I'm speaking truth and accepting and surrendering to it, that I'm receiving a lot of people. So I feel like I push out, and that's the clientele I receive. But everyone, I always say, are guided to me through spirit. Someone else told you about me. They were just used as a vessel. That's not who brought you here. It's spirit. Like, this is divine. Yeah. So I always tell everyone, whether they believe in spirit or not, you were guided through spirit because I have something to offer. Yeah. So whatever I'm experiencing, I kind of feel like I receive. And then sometimes I receive people that that's not my experience at all, but I can still help, you know. So, yeah.
Do you see people usually one-offs, or do you see like long-standing clients that keep on coming back?
Most of my clients are all repeat clients. We are doing series. I tell all my clients that although I do a form of like what we call meditation therapy, I am not in the business of keeping clients. I'm not a therapist. So I will not have you for 5 years, 10 years as my client, because really I'm taking your money. You're not doing nothing. You're not getting real healing. And I hate to say it because I have peers who are therapists, but they are trying to keep you coming back. Like, that's the business part of it, and then there's the healing part of it. But the business part is to keep your clients coming back. Hence, the sessions are 45 minutes, 55 minutes. Like, how much do you get done in that? Right. Besides unraveling the stuff, and then they'd be like, okay, well, time's up. I'll see you next week. Right? And you're just like, what the fuck?
I experienced that yesterday.
I can't wait to go back. I have to get this shit out again.
Like, already?
This is it. God. So you gotta go back. So when I meet people, they're like, I've been seeing my therapist 20 years. And they're like proud. I'm like, no. So for me, it's like, I always say, after 12 months, I shouldn't see you once a week. I shouldn't see you every other week. I should see you every quarter. So although I have clients who, we're going on 2 years, and they probably come once every 2 to 3 weeks, and it's just for meditation. Like, it's just meditation, it's check-in, stuff like that. But when we first start off, we usually I haven't had one client. I've actually had one client who like never came back. She just wasn't ready for the healing. But all of my clients, we start off on a weekly basis, and they're ready to heal. They're ready to really, really tap in and dive into the healing. So, yeah. And
is every session like primordial sound healing with other meditations, or?
No. So primordial sound is especially like what we just did, it's very intense. You can't do that every week. Like, it can be, unless we're doing some deep healing, but I have to really monitor that. I'm very aware of what's happening in the body, and we can send our body in shock. Too much meditation is actually a thing too. Too much sound healing, like it's a thing. Too much of anything, right? It's a thing. So it's like, we probably do primordial sounds. It just depends on the person, but it's not an every session thing. Some sessions we don't even meditate. It's just all like therapeutic style. It's all talking through
Life coaching.
It could be tapping. I do a lot of emotional freedom tapping. Me too. EFT. I loved EFT. So we do a lot of tapping, or we could just be doing breath work. So it really just depends. And I don't plan my sessions out. I just come in and like, I'll look at your chart the night before to know like what we worked on, and our intentions. We always set intentions for the next session, but when we come in, straight download, and we just start our work, and then we go from there. We might do a primordial session, or we might do a just a guided meditation, a visualization meditation, or a soul to soul. It just varies. Yeah.
So because I think all three of us, I think everybody who has had a period in their life who hasn't done meditation and then suddenly finds themselves in meditation, I always try to think back to the point at which I wasn't meditating and like why I wasn't meditating and what were the blockages there and the stories I was telling myself that kept me from meditating. But I'm curious like what your advice would be to somebody, like, what is the importance of meditation to you, or what does it mean to you? And because your backstory is so powerful.
That's a great question, because meditation is different for everyone. So to me, it's a commitment to self. Now, what are we trying to commit to? Is this a spiritual practice? Is this for health and wellness? Is this just to calm the mind? Is this for abundance? Are we healing a trauma? Are we healing a illness? Like, what exactly are we doing? But the overall is making a commitment to you. This is a self-care practice, So what does that look like? So that's my thing. It's like tapping into this is for you, okay? And we all have something that keeps us up at night. We just do. We're human. And so what is it that you want to work on? What is it you want to release or receive? What do you want this practice to be for you, period? And then I meet the client. I meet them where they are. I meet the soul where they are, and then we kind of work on that. So it's like, it's just a commitment to yourself for your self-healing practice, your self-care, your self-love.
Have you ever had anybody who was resistant to meditation? Or to
Yes.
anything that you felt that you were being channeled to tell them that they should try, and they were like, I can't.
Yes. Usually, if I'm channeling, there is rarely resistance, because I feel like whatever's coming down, Spirit already knows. They meet them where they are. So Spirit don't ever get it wrong. But I get it wrong. So sometimes, because I'm limited in this human form, so sometimes I'm like pushing meditation. Not cracking. Did you meditate this week? Just 5 minutes? No, I just can't get into it. I just don't. Okay. And so or crystals. Sometimes I have people who are like not feeling the crystals. I know to take them out the room. Don't burn any Palo Santo. No smells. Don't meditate, because I don't believe in that shit. Okay, no problem. I meet you where you are. And I always tell people, I'm your spiritual running mate. You guys may have heard this analogy. It's your marathon. I'm just helping you stay in the race and cross the finish line. Like, how we run the race is on you. We're gonna jog, we're gonna slowly walk, or we're gonna sprint, or we're gonna just take our time, sit down a little bit. I just need to make sure you're hydrated and you make it across the finish line. However you run a race is up to you. It's your marathon. So if you want to incorporate this beautiful healing practice of meditation, great. If you don't, okay. No judgment. No judgment. But I do have people who are like, they just ain't feeling it. And they're not ready. you know, or maybe it's just not their thing, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. I wish it was, but it really isn't for everyone. So I don't believe that, actually. I think it is for everyone. we just don't want to receive it. So let me clarify.
That's so funny. We literally just did this interview with a breathwork guide yesterday. And we asked the question, like, are there people who just flat out just breath work in them? You know? And she's like, she told us a story, but she, you know, she's like, if there's things that come up during the session that, you know, either distract you or you start getting fixated on, you hate the music, you hate blah, 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 you know, chances are there's something going on that you need to investigate.
So true. I had it happen the other day. One of my clients was in here and he was like, what was that you were playing? I was like, water.
It's not even like a namaste.
Just water.
The wind.
He was like, it sounded like a drain. Like it was sucking a lot of stuff. I was like, it puts you in this state. So I was doing some things, and Pete's like, yeah, it was just a lot. It was just really intense. And I was just thinking, because it's working. Surrender. But he's hilarious. I was just like, okay, note to self, never play the drain. Water again.
Drain water.
Like, it sounded like a plumbing drain. I was like, it was just water. Maybe it was plumbing some shit out. I don't know.
My God.
He's hilarious. We laughed about it too for the longest. We were like, it wasn't. And I played it again. He's like, you don't hear that? I'm like, no, I hear water. People are funny.
Yeah.
They really are. I love people though.
Where do you see your practice going in the future?
Oh, that's a good question. It's evolving rapidly. I know that. I'm open. Like, I don't really, why does that question make me uncomfortable? It's such a good question. It's like, I don't know. I just know that it's growing rapidly and I'm allowing myself to just go. I'm really just allowing myself to go with the current. Of course, I would love for it to be, I would love to go and travel with this. Like, I do travel with it now, but do more of that and really go. I'm leaning towards a lot of like philanthropy work. So going into children's hospitals or orphanages or, you know, visiting the elderly, like, and then I do work with people who are transitioning from life to spiritual realms. So people who are in ICU, who are unresponsive and stuff like that. I love doing that. And so I would love to travel maybe to like Africa or Saudi Arabia, like, you know, different places and help incorporate this practice as for people, for children. And then also I said a week ago, because I was at the ICU at UCLA helping someone heal and praying for a miracle, trying to push out toxins and negative energies and impurities, but also helping them transition if it's time for them to transition. And when I was leaving, I was like, I can do this once a month. I really enjoy helping souls transition over. It might sound a little weird, but I feel like it's an honor to sit in that space. And when you go into the room, you feel spirit all around you. The angels are there, their loved ones are there, like you feel it. And so I've been honored to be called to do that work too. So I really want to, like I said, do that maybe once a month and really start to travel with this practice and introduce it to people who typically who wouldn't. So that's one thing. And then women are my passion. So I want to help women heal because heart disease is the #1 killer for all women, every ethnicity, over cancer. It is an epidemic, and it is because we hold everything in our heart space. And I want to speak that and speak it loud and really, really help women tap into a healing practice so we can break this shit and stop killing ourselves. We don't even know. We are literally killing ourselves. We hold everything in the heart space, and it pushes out. So it affects the note from the throat to the womb. Thyroid issues, breast cancer, heart disease, issue in the GI, issues with the womb, cervical cancer, heavy periods, all of that stuff, because we are just pushing this energy right in here. So that's also my passion, is really to get this message out and get this penetrate through women who typically would not do this. You know, rather they're corporate women, or rather they live in the projects and they just don't know nothing about meditation. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I don't know. It's just like whatever I am led, but when I visualize it, that's what I see. Those pockets, this and that, and that. So, and then this space, the lighthouse, I want it to be like a healing center. So I really want, it's small, it's boutique style, but I want healers to come and do classes and teach. And like you guys are doing the breath work, like I love that. And I want to do more events like that and have this be a space where a lot of sacred work is done.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. You can feel it when you walk in. It's just like,
You really do.
it's like I almost feel like I get hit with this wave of what feels almost like vertigo, because it's just like the energy is so high, and it's like just everything is vibrating at such like a high frequency, and it smells amazing.
Yeah, this room, there's something very special about this room.
Everyone says that. It's a lot happens in this room. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to have found, this space. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
No, only that if you start a traveling program, count me in. I would really love to do that.
Oh my God.
That sounds like an incredible idea.
Yeah, it's actually happening too now. This week, stuff is starting to open up that I never would have thought of, like opportunities overseas to really help
Amazing.
with children, orphanages. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, Spirit, take me. Where am I going now? So it's an adventure. Life is an adventure, and it's full of all kind of stuff, the shadow and the light. I'm embracing it all.
Yeah.
The shadow, the shadow. That's the heavy part. But I think that's where the wisdom lives.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I mean, so much.
It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so sad it's over.
I know. The timing of this could not have been more perfect.
So we highly recommend Mecca. If you guys want to check out more information about her meditation, you can go to weightlessmeditation.com, or you can follow her and find her on Instagram at mecca.elliot, and we will have all of her information in the show notes for you as well.
Also, for those of you who don't know, Sam and I have a business called Daughters that makes a lot of soul care tools for modern rituals in your life to help you sort of wind down, chill out, and sort of tap into yourself. And you can find all of that online at daughtersbrand.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we really, really just appreciate you tuning in and going along on this journey with us. I think every conversation that we have with a different healer, we just learn so much more, and it just is like a little puzzle piece that is like added to the big overall picture that we're now starting to form around all this alternative healing stuff. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Music for Woo New is composed by Adam Miller.